we pretty much can explore new areas in every single town we have visited before. It's kind of ridiculous, and I really like it. Again, I think that this is how they should have always done HMs, where they're optional extra exploration you can do, and if you go the extra mile to go do all that exploration with these HM moves, you can get rewarded with some pretty great moves and some pretty great items. Because as we're going to be seeing in the next area, the good moves you can learn are just going to keep increasing. Stryton City, yes. Next is Stryton City, and I actually want to... Actually, do we need... Yeah, I think we actually do need what I'm thinking of for the next area. I do want to switch around my team a little bit. Taranza and David have already gotten good levels, and I think we might want to be giving some other Pokemon good levels. Yeah, Mogera, you're for how absurd your power was before, you're kind of falling behind the levels. And I think, yeah, I think David could use a bit of a rest. He's been doing pretty well lately, but I think it's time we give some other Pokemon time in the sun. There is nothing to do in the Dream Yard. We do not have the ability to fully explore it yet, but we do have the ability to fully explore one area of the game we actually encountered fairly early on. Route 3 has a couple of things for us, and so does the Wellspring Cave, but we're not going to be fully exploring the Wellspring Cave just yet because it's actually quite expansive. Surf. Alright. Now, if you use Surf over here, there's this little island, and also there's an item over here I forgot to go grab. Also, I should probably go grab something else. Full heal, okay. Full heal, not bad. I actually have needed a couple of those in some tight battles, so that'll be greatly welcomed. But the main prize, if you go east, you encounter Pokemon. Not east, west. I get my directions mixed up all the time. Would you believe me if I said I got right and left correct a lot? Because I wouldn't believe myself. Also, these things are pitifully low-leveled. That's insane. Over here, there are some Lumberries from a Pokemon Ranger. There's a hidden rare candy right over here, and... Oh, no, it's not a Pokemon Ranger, that's a Pokemon Breeder. So wait, I think Pokemon Breeders also give out items. Okay, yes, it is the Pokemon Breeder who gives you the Lumberry. Okay, so what's this one? I don't... Oh, an HP up, okay. Yeah, I did not have that on my list. That is really all there is over here. Oh, there's another item. Did not notice that. P-Dub, yeah. This is not double battle grass, so you're not going to be encountering anything higher level that you could find normally on the route. I kind of like how they did that, where the double battle grass is basically their way of hiding higher level encounters. Well, actually, there already is double battle grass on this route. That's the introduction of that, so they can't really have double battle grass. I do like double battle grass. I think they should bring it back in that you can have double battles more on command, and I always do like double battles a lot more than single battles, just because they're a lot more tactical. You can do a lot of things in double battles you really can't do in single battles. Okay, so I am going to fly back to Stryton City, get a bunch of repels, because I do not want to be going through a dungeon just with a bunch of random stupid encounters. I like this game, and I like the battle music. I just don't have the patience to do a ridiculous number of encounters all the time. Yeah, let's go for max repels. I know that super repels are actually more cost efficient in that they cost the cost per step repelled is greater on the super repel than it is on the max repel, but the max repel is just less button clicks to get into the menu. Now, if it was the generation where we had the would you like to apply another repel prompt after a repel wears off, I'd probably go with super repels. And even then, we're not really at a point where we're hurting for money. I can only see maybe 4 or 5 battles coming up and going forward that I would say you should be prepared for, and large amounts of money would probably be spent on preparations. But other than that, not much, and even in post-game, there's really not a whole lot to spend money on, because you do tend to get a lot of money going towards the end of the game where you have a lot more trainers, and especially coming up on the last 2 or 3 areas, you're going to be having a lot of battles with a lot of trainers. If you put the amulet coin on anything, you're just going to be raking in the cash. But we have now entered Wellspring Cave for the second time, and now we can actually explore the rest of the cave. I like this place. I think it's interesting in that they have that little patch of land, and it's just surrounded by water, and if you come back later when you have surf, the game will actually reward you. Because, like a lot of places early game, there are hidden items you can't really find without the use of the dowsing machine, which you don't actually get until later in the game. And also there's a thing right here. This is a PP up. Okay, not bad. We're not actually. Are we gonna be using a PP up on anything? I can't really think of any moves that I would want a PP up for. And also, I do want to get that little thing. That dirt pile might hold an interesting item. Full heal. Okay. We actually could have gotten that full heal on the first time coming through, but again, we wouldn't have known it existed. And we got a drill burr. Okay. You know, I will take a drill burr, if only because we may later on get some good items by these. I would definitely recommend, if you go into these dungeons, check every single dirt pile you can. Mostly because you can get some really good gems. Like, the gems are amazing. They are a 50% boost on any attack for a single use. And especially the flying gem, because if you have anything capable of learning acrobatics, it checks for the held item after the gem is consumed. So you will get that 50% flying boost on acrobatics, in addition to the boosted damage from acrobatics. It's beautiful. And also there's an escape rope right there if you want to escape quickly, and I rushed ahead. And this is our first instance of needing to use the move Flash. And I forgot to teach Isoar Flash. Alright, so let's get exploring. First, I want to bring up the dowsing machine because I know that in cave there's a lot of items on the ground, and let's see what we can find. I think it should be right. Oh, it's right over there. All right. Okay, well, this little ball return will put us back here. There's also a T. I don't think that's a T, and that might be one of the TMs I'm thinking of, but I don't know. But what I do know is there is water here, and as you can generally tell when there is water in a dungeon, there are generally items that you can find by surfing. And I'm fairly certain I know where one of these items is. And the rappel wore off, of course. Yeah, you can see how that quality of life change of making the "would you like to use another rappel" thing came up. Was definitely much better. Oh, there's an... Okay, so the item is down there. I think I know where this thing is. There's a TM... Okay, there's Focus Blast. TM52. This is a special fighting type move. It was one of the 2 first fighting type moves, not including the hidden power fighting type, because that was made special in Generation 4. I don't really consider that a special fighting move. But Focus Blast is generally learned by a lot of psychic types and some ghost types, because it's their way of circumventing their dark type weakness with a move they can counter with. You know, the type that was added specifically to counter ghost and psychic, they felt needed to have a way of those psychic and ghost types countering the type that was made to counter them. Well, a certain other type received that same kind of love. But, let's see, so there's an item. I'm pretty sure the item is up there. Is this... Okay, so no. The way to go get that other item is probably the other way of surfing. So I think I'll have to go. There's a hyper potion right there. My notes do have that there are a couple of various potions around here. So there's also trainers and... Wait. Pressing the B button is what makes these trainers move. Interesting. So we have different behaving trainers. Good to know. Okay, so where does that... There's a revive. What is... Okay, down there is that item. Okay. Over here, there is this item. I do like how this dungeon is a bit laid out, where you kind of need... There's mystic water. There's a mystic water right there. I like how it's laid out, just it's a bit chaotically laid out, and if you... Wow, Mystic Water and then a Water Gem. Very water-themed. But again, we are in the Wellspring Cave, so that kind of makes sense. But I do like how they have this dungeon laid out, where you can navigate it without flash if you have a map. But even with a map, you can get lost kind of easily. It's not just, oh, random flat dungeon that has absolutely no variation in how it's laid out, but you need flash anyway just because we're going to want to be jerks. Down here we have some trainers, and there's actually a very humorous story I saw of a Let's Play I really love to watch. They basically got soft-locked in here, and they had to use an escape rope to get out, which I just kind of found a bit funny. Is this the other end of that little surf area? Yes, I think it is. I am going to battle those trainers, but probably do it off-screen. Yes, TM47 Low Sweep. I want to go over this move because it's actually similar in name to another move, and I always get these two moves mixed up. 47, we are definitely nowhere near that. TM47 Low Sweep. Okay. The user attacks the target's legs, swiftly reducing the target's speed. This is not to be confused with Low Kick, a weight-based damage move a la Grass Knot. So, Low Sweep is helpful in that it's similar to Electro Web and Icy Wind. It will always drop the target's speed, but is perfectly accurate, so a lot of things can actually use it, and use it very well. If you have a very slow team, and you have a Pokemon that's pretty fast and can learn Low Sweep, you might be able to teach it to them, if not for type coverage, but just for the utility of being able to drop speed. Or you have a move like I have with my Electro Ball and Electro Web combo, where you drop speed and use that to increase damage of another move. Focus Blast I already went over. It is a special fighting move, but it also has a chance of dropping special defense. It's an interesting move. I did kind of rail a bit on it, saying, it's a way of fighting types, a way of a ghost and psychic type having a way of circumventing their weakness to a type which was made to counter them. I kind of little depend on that, but it's also, there are some fighting types can learn the move, like Conkeldurr can learn Focus Blast, but I never really got that because a lot of Pokemon can learn Focus Blast, and it's a bizarre number of Pokemon that can learn it. I mean, Excadrill can freaking learn Focus Blast. Why do all these Pokemon get this special attack that basically all of them have no business using? It's like how back in Gen 1, everything got Fire Blast, everything got Blizzard. It made no sense. Oh, Brick Break, that's going to hurt. Thankfully, you don't have the best stack. Your whole thing is your speed, so that's beneficial. I do like how they do have some trainers in here to fight, that they aren't just, oh, here's just a TM dungeon and some useless items to walk around in. The trainers aren't the highest level. They're competently leveled for where you would be at Twist Mountain, and maybe even a little before then. So, we do actually have some good trainers. I do wonder when we are going to get that final move on Excadrill, because if you haven't noticed, Excadrill is almost completely finished in terms of the moves I want on it. Excadrill is kind of an early bloomer. She got her great moves early on because I held back getting Earthquake, and Brick Break is just a fantastic move in general that I think is warranted on a lot of physical attackers, if only because it's a great physical move, and the occasional Screen Destruction is very good. See, I really should have gotten more Pokemon than I am going to punishment with that stupid egg. But, can't change the past, and I do want to show Larvesta off, because I do like the Pokemon. I am bad at Pokemon battles. Wow, that's... Everyone has to get better at some point. You just gotta train and work hard and stuff. Don't feel too bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to beat you into the pavement like that. I always feel bad whenever trainers have something to say like that, where it's, oh, I'm bad, or I need to train more, because it makes me feel bad for just stomping their team into the pavement. Actually, how far along are we in hatching that Larvesta egg? Because if I recall, Larvesta needs a lot of steps to hatch, and yeah, they don't give it to you at some sort of reduced distance, because I know that there are some Pokemon games where you get an egg, but the egg has a sort of reduced distance on it where it's already sort of close to hatching or closer to hatching. And I don't know if I was not expecting them to do that to Larvesta, but I was kind of hopeful. Oh joy, Girder, more things that is very effective against my team. Because, you know, I went into a cave and was expecting a lot of rock types. Can't go to you yet. There's nothing here for you. Not going there yet. We're not ready. Can't do anything there yet. Actually, we do have the ability to go to the next place in Lostlorn Forest. I forgot to mention that there is only one place in the entirety of the Unova region we have found so far to have a place to use Waterfall, and that place is the Lostlorn Forest. In post-game, we're going to have a couple of different areas where we can get things with the use of Waterfall, but in the pre-game, I think is... Oh, not pre-game, it would be because that's before you play the game. Post-game is after you beat the game, so I guess it would just be in the game, or story mode. You only have one place to use Waterfall. There might be I don't really think there's a second place to use Waterfall, because I've been over this entire place, and there's really not many to use Waterfall. Can you? Okay, you can't learn Waterfall. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to go and catch a Pokemon capable of learning Waterfall, or just check, because I don't think I have anything, because I don't really think I have anything capable of learning Waterfall. Stop clicking buttons! No, because I know that Beartic learns a water... Can you learn Waterfall? If so, can you be the hero we need? Because you might actually be that hero we need. Because if you can't... I also forgot to mention the Dive Ball. The Dive Ball is a bit of an interesting item. It has a boosted chance of catching Pokemon while you are underwater, and I believe in this game, while surfing and fishing. We don't have access to fishing yet, so it did have its original usage restored, and that, for a lot of people, was a bit of a tip-off that maybe Generation 3 remakes were happening, and as we did find out, they did eventually happen. But not in this generation. Oh, was that Gen 4 where that, was? I don't know. But all I know is that there was one generation where they reintroduced the function of dive balls working underwater, and that was a hint to a lot of people, or rather it was just speculated at that point, that the dive function was returned to what it originally was, which meant possibly Gen 5, there would have been diving exploration, or we would be getting a Generation 3 remake, because diving was a big feature of that game. And I gotta say, I did like how Generation 3 did diving, because it did open up a couple of new areas, and there were a lot of just offshoots to go to. We haven't seen anything like that in the more recent Pokemon games. We just have these optional side areas in any way other than really the way Generation 5 has handled its HM usage. I wish more games would do this, and I'm kind of sad how, in a way, we don't have HMs anymore, because we can't do this kind of... You get this new move, and you can just do a world search and find a whole bunch of awesome, really cool items, because now HMs are obsolete, and you don't have any real limit on the double battlegrass. There are a couple of items over here. What kind of items are over here? I remember that... I think it's Trubbish and Garbodor. I know Trubbish. I'm not sure about Garbodor. They can hold special items. I believe the Big Nugget, like the big nugget, I'm pretty sure was the name of it. They can hold those 1% of the time in the double battlegrass, but I don't know. I'm not gonna go bother searching for them because I don't have any special need for it. And also TM66 Payback. I remember noting it down somewhere. This is a Dark-type physical move. It deals, I believe it's 50 base power? It deals increased damage if you are hit the previous turn. Yeah, 50 damage. 50% power, 50 power. It deals increased damage if you've been hit the previous turn, and it's a interesting move on some slower Pokemon, but I also believe it makes you move last. So you can kind of use it that way. It's a bit similar to move Revenge, but I believe Revenge is 10% stronger, and also fighting type. And it's an interesting move, and I kind of like it. Let's see what's behind tree number 1. I didn't actually bring this item, and also it's a good thing that we kind of had to bring Panpour over here, because it did limit, and also rare candy. Okay. That's very worth it. But now we head up into Lost Lorn Forest. I do like this place. And... oh, go down there. There we go. Where they surf? Yes. And there is this little waterfall. Let's ascend the waterfall. I could you fly up and then you splash down. Let's start seeing what we can find. I know that there are some items up here. I don't... Are they no hidden items? There's a rare candy up here. I believe there's another item. It is a... I think it's a vitamin? I think it's a vitamin. Yes, there is. It is a hidden one over right. Yeah, protein. Okay, I was right. I play this game way too much. And that's all we actually have in the Lost Lorn Forest. Not a whole lot, but hey, 2 rare candies and a protein are hardly bad. I remember before even doing all this thing, I said, just looking over the things, you get at least like 5 TMs and 5 rare candies and a crap ton of amazing TMs. This is the best way of ever having HMs done in a Pokemon game, just on that sheer fact alone. And yeah, that's 40% of the estimated rare candies compared to all the other rare candies we've already gotten. So we have a lot of stuff ahead of us. Now we head to our next little stop, Driftvale City, which I will be getting to momentarily.